Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today, I wanted to start a new series that I've been meaning to put together for a while, which is a bit of an introductory look at some of the unique items that are the most build-defining ones in Path of Exile. But rather than putting this out as something that's for channel regulars that might feel they already know all of these basics, I wanted to go over why an item like Shavronne's Wrappings in today's video is so good, why it's so sought after, and what sort of builds use it and why they choose to use it. So, Shavronne's Wrappings is an interesting piece. It's an energy shield armor, as you can see. 311 at the moment on this copy. You can get much higher than 311, but it does still cap out fairly low. The reason that it's good is due to the last mod on the item. So let's just remove my remove the comparison so that you don't get confused by that. Here you'll see there's that last unique modifier. Chaos damage does not bypass energy shield. So what does that mean? Normally, when you're hit by chaos damage, so for instance, any of the monsters, the snake-like monsters that spit at you, any of the sort of pools of caustic crap on the ground that you'll encounter throughout the game, this ignores your energy shield entirely. And this means that builds that have a low life total and a massive energy shield total have a really severe weakness to chaos damage. What Shavronne's Wrappings lets you do is have a character that has a very small amount of life, a massive amount of energy shield, and then that uses Shavronne's Wrappings to keep them safe from chaos damage. So then their energy shield protects them from the chaos damage, meaning that because chaos damage tends not to do massive amounts of damage to you. You can get by with a fairly low amount of chaos resistance and this powerful set of armor. So, what does that enable you to then do? Well, the first thing that needs to be said is that what the alternative is to protect yourself from chaos damage, and that's to take the node Chaos Inoculation. This makes you completely immune to chaos damage. This is an absolute immunity, but it sets your maximum life total to 1. Now, builds that use Chaos Inoculation get no benefit from Shavronne's Wrappings, and so they wouldn't use it. However, the real benefit to using Shavronne's Wrappings without Chaos Inoculation is the access to this node on the passive tree, Pain Attunement. Pain Attunement is somewhat different to most nodes on the passive tree. If we have a look at a node like Crackling Speed here, you'll see just looking at the first node, the first line of it, 16% increased lightning damage. What this means, you add up all of the increased effects that you've got on your character. Maybe you've got 500% increased lightning damage on your character total. That's from gear, that's from the passive tree, and various other sources. Now, if you were to then allocate Crackling Speed, that 500 becomes 516 because there's an increase. With Pain Attunement, that 500 would instead become 650. Because this is a more multiplier, it actually multiplies with all other more multipliers as well. This means that Pain Attunement is the single most powerful damage node on the entire passive tree, if your character is set up to be able to use it. And the problem is you've got to be on low life. Low life means that your current life total is less than or equal to 35% of your current maximum life total. Now, if you're a Chaos Inoculation build, your life is always at 1 out of 1, except for that moment when it isn't and you're at 0 out of 1 because you're dead. Now, with a life build, Shavronne's Wrappings gives you the ability to have the best of both worlds. You can be on low life, and you can be safe from chaos from chaos damage, and that's the reason that this is so good. This item's best friend forever is Prism Guardian. Prism Guardian is a ridiculously brokenly powerful item. It's something that has been one of the key things that's empowered so many different builds over the last few months. Both the aura stacking builds, before that the herald stacking builds, and before that and also all the time aura bots as well. What Prism Guardian does is it causes socketed gems to have blood magic. Now, this is blood magic as per the passive node on the tree, so it's not as though they're supported by the blood magic support gem. Those socketed gems have blood magic as though you had this allocated on your tree, but without the drawback of blood magic, which is removing all your mana. So, What this combination then lets you do, you can put 3 auras in this, and they all have minus 25% local mana reservation on them. And then you can equip Shavronne's Wrappings. Turn on all of the auras in Prism Guardian, and if you've chosen right, you'll end up with 65% of your life reserved. And then at this point, it's as simple as then going into a map and taking advantage of the benefits of the auras, which will either amplify your damage or keep you alive, and using your energy shield to stay alive from non-chaos damage hits, whilst relying upon Shavronne's Wrappings unique mod to keep you alive from those chaos damage hits. So how do you source this item, you might be asking? Firstly, on Prism Guardian, it is just a global drop. To the best of my knowledge, there's no real way to target farm it. It's not the rarest item in the game, far from it, but it's also not that common either. It's a global drop anywhere unique. But for Shavronne's Wrappings, it's an extremely rare drop anywhere unique. However, it also has a divination card, the Offering. The Offering drops in 2 main places that you can target farm. The first one of them is that you can target farm map bosses that are based on Shavronne. So you've got the Tower map boss, you've got the Cells map boss, and you've got 1 or 2 others. So that's your first option. The second one, though, is from Heist content, specifically the Armor chests in Heist. They will very frequently drop divination cards related to armor. I don't know if they're going to stay that way when Heist goes core, or whether there'll be nerfs, but for the moment, the best place in the game to source the Offering divination card is armor-specific reward chests in Heist, and the second best place is from map bosses that are based upon Shavronne of Umber. Anyways, that's all I've got on this item. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. I am planning to cover more popular unique items and just give a bit of a high-level overview over why they're good. Be interested in knowing which ones you're thinking that I should include. I want to include Call of the Brotherhood, definitely, but I haven't really made up my mind beyond that, except for my personal favourite, Zerfi's Heart, which is so much fun to use that I have even slotted into a build that it has really bad counter synergy with, just because it's so powerful for clearing through the game. So I'm going to include Zerfi's Heart. I'll probably include Headhunter as well, but if you've got anything else, definitely fire away and I will try to get that in.